In this tutorial we're going to look at describing somebody's nationality. We've already looked at talking about countries, and this time we're going to be looking at nationality adjectives. So what I've done is I've broken them down divided them into four groups, because the way that you say it for a man, Italiano, Italiana. Okay, so if the adjective, so the masculine is blue, the feminine is red. So if you talk about an Italian man, it would be Italiano. For an Italian woman, Italiana. So when the adjective ends with an O for the masculine, the O just changes to A. Okay, so more examples of that would be Polacco, Polish. Polacco, so the female being Polaka. Russo, meaning Russian, Russo, and Russa, and Suizo, meaning Swiss, Suiza. Also, you can think of other examples, maybe Argentino, Argentinian, Argentino, Argentina. Okay, so the next group of adjectives is ones that in the male they end in a consonant. So you can see an example of that, Español, describing a male Spanish person, Español. So here what you do is you just add an A. So it goes from Español, 3 syllables, to Española, 4 syllables. So other adjectives that end with a consonant would be things like Alemán. So Alemán for German man, Alemán, and for a female, Alemana. You've also got lots of ones which end S. So an example of that would be Inglés, Inglesa, French, Français, Francesa, Hollandés, Hollandés, Hollandesa. Also you've got things like Irish, Irlandés, Irlandesa, Scottish, Escocés, Escocesa, Welsh, Gales, Galesa. But also when the ones that end Alemán, you can see there's an accent on here. This is helping with pronunciation. So when you make it female, by adding an extra syllable, you actually take off, you don't need that anymore. So it's best to kind of look at the tutorial on where the stress lies in words. It's not a mistake. If you see that, you think, oh, why is there an accent on this A but not on this one? No, it just doesn't have one. It's the same with all the ones which end A's, like Inglés, Francés, Hollandés, Irlandés. In the female, when you say Inglesa, you remove the accent. Okay, so another group of adjectives to look at is ones where the adjective ends in an E. So an example of this is estadounidense, which means American, somebody from the United States. So the word for the United States is Los Estados Unidos. Now you can say Americano, Americana, but it's a bit vague. So it doesn't really mean somebody, it just means somebody that's from anywhere in the Americas. So somebody from Canada or Mexico, Colombia, they could also be described as American. So it's more accurate to describe somebody as estadounidense, even though it's a bit of a mouthful. But the female, so that's the male, the female doesn't change. So adjectives which end in an E, in the masculine, the feminine, will be the same. Another example of an adjective of nationality which ends with an E is Canadiense. Canadiense, meaning Canadian. So to talk about a Canadian man, Canadiense, and a woman, ella es Canadiense. Okay. There aren't that many adjectives of nationality which end in an E. Majority end either A or end in a consonant in the masculine and just add an A in the feminine. And then the final group is ones where the the masculine adjective ends in an A, and it's similar to ones that end in an E. There's no change in the female. So to talk about a Belgian man, you'd say LS Belga. So you might say Hercule Poirot is Belgian. You might say Kevin De Bruyne is Manchester City midfielder, Kevin S. Belga. And if you're talking about a Belgian woman, Aya S. Belga. Okay, so it doesn't change. Now, the best thing to do is just practice the pronunciation. So I'm going to just read through these, and as I say them, just repeat. So, Italiano, Italiana, Polacco, Polacca, Russo, Russa, Suizo, Suiza, Argentino, Argentina. Okay, now the ones that end in a consonant in the masculine, so, and remember to add an extra syllable, so Español becomes, in the feminine, Española. So, Español, Española. Alemán, Alemana. Inglés, Inglesa. Francés, Francesa. Holandés, Holandesa. Okay, and then the easy ones with the ones that end in an E, where there's only one form. So for the male and female, it's just estadounidense, estadounidense, and canadiense, canadiense. And then the final one, just Belga. Okay, so what we do now is just think of perhaps some famous people and tell me their nationalities. So what about Gérard Depardieu? We could say Gérard Depardieu is French, so it would be Gérard S. Français. Okay, Brigitte Bardot is French, so we just put BD, Brigitte Bardot, S. Française. Okay, maybe, how would you say Jürgen Klopp, or no, maybe Boris Becker is German. Okay, so that will be Boris S. Allemand. And Angela Merkel is German. Angela S. Alemana. What about Julio Iglesias is Spanish. So Julio es Español. And Penelope Cruz is Spanish, so Penelope es Española. What about Brad Pitt is American, so he's from the United States. So Brad es estadounidense. Brad es estadounidense. Madonna is American, so again, Madonna es, and then the same word, estadounidense. It doesn't change. It doesn't become, you might think, oh, should it be for a woman estadounidense? Should you change the E to an A? But you don't. It's just estadounidense. And maybe, let's think of maybe David Beckham is English. David es Inglés. We could say Judi Dench is English. Judi es Inglesa. Okay, so you've got a bit of a variety of different nationalities. So, I mean, you can, when you describe where somebody's from, you can say something like, for example here, David, I could say for myself, soy inglés, so I'm English. I could also say I'm from England, so I could use the country. Soy de Inglaterra. It doesn't matter which one you say, whichever you feel more comfortable with, and perhaps you can vary it just to, just to keep things interesting. Okay, so now you can describe where people are from according to their nationality. Okay, so hasta la próxima.